I analyzed the 100 businesses doing 10 million plus, and here's what actually works in 2025. The strategies that built 8-figure businesses in 2023 are now actively killing growth in 2025. And after analyzing 100 businesses doing over 10 million in revenue this year, I discovered something shocking, that over 80% of them have completely abandoned the marketing playbook that got them to 7 figures and beyond. So if you're running a digital business right now, what's taught in this video could be the difference between doubling your revenue this year or watching your competitors leave you behind. At Media Scaling, we've helped generate over 5 billion organic views in 2 years and have worked with 31 10 million plus businesses. And what I'm about to share comes directly from our proprietary data and experience across these 31 companies, as well as connecting with more than 100 others and learning what's working best for them. Now, none of this is making income claims. I'm just sharing with you the knowledge that I have received from working with over 31 businesses, doing 10 million plus a year, and analyzing over 100 more of them. And statistically, it's very unlikely you're going to hit these numbers. But when you understand how they do what they do, it makes it much more probable. And that is the goal of this video. Here's the painful truth about digital business in 2025. Customer acquisition costs have increased by an average of 60% across all major platforms in just the last 5 years, according to a study ran by Simplicity DX. And meanwhile, the average conversion rate has steadily dropped during that time period as well. There's been a lot of restrictions on ad targeting. Trust is at an all-time low. And what this means is that you're paying more for less. But what's interesting is the businesses stuck in 2023 thinking are seeing their profit margins shrink every quarter, and many are at a profit shrinking rate where if they don't adapt, then they'll be unprofitable within a year. And most businesses are responding by either throwing more money at ads, which just accelerates the problem, cutting costs and team, which limits growth potential, or pivoting constantly between tactics, which creates more chaos internally. None of these are the approaches that are working. The market is rapidly splitting into two groups: the small percentage who have adapted to the new reality and are seeing record growth, and everyone else who's fighting over scraps with diminishing returns. So what exactly are these 10 million plus businesses doing differently? After analyzing their operations, their marketing, and growth strategies, I identified 5 key pillars that separate the winners from everyone else. Pillar 1 is having an omnipresent content ecosystem. The first major shift is moving from single channel marketing to what we call omnipresent content ecosystems. The top performers aren't just posting on one main account anymore. They're creating 20 to 50 sub-accounts across platforms, each targeting specific audience segments with hyper-relevant content. All right, so we've got pillar 1, which is your omnipresent content ecosystem. For a long time now, basically since businesses and brands started scaling on socials, the model has been focusing on a lot of brands just one platform, or if they are some of the select few that are across platforms already, then they would still have just one main account. And so let's look at the platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, we have LinkedIn and X. Historically, again, brands have had one account on each one of these platforms. The example I'll use is Tai Lopez, who is running the omnipresent content ecosystem that we actually built out for him. And so on the main accounts, it would just be at Tai Lopez. And in 2020 and 2021, a big shift happened across all platforms to short form content. And when you post short form vertical video content, 3 minutes or less, majority of the reach, 50% plus, almost always goes to non-followers, and it's targeted based on interest. Meaning every single time you post short form content, it's getting you hundreds, thousands, and potentially millions of free targeted reach to your ideal clients or customers who you want to be showing up in front of. If you already have your main socials across platforms and you're creating short form content, which is the hardest part of all of this, once you have the short form video, the easiest high leverage, low hanging fruit thing to do is to post that short form video across platforms, because it works across platforms. And again, that is low hanging fruit and low cost to you and builds you an omnipresent audience across platforms. And let's say that you're one of the smarter brands that are not just posting one time per day, but you're posting 2 short form videos per day. And so now you're multiplied across platforms with this format. In every single one of these short form videos, again, are taking you to an entire pool of reach. Let's just say this is your total reach. And on almost every single post across platforms, majority of that reach, this colored section here, is going to non-followers. And again, those non-followers are targeted based on interest. If you like business content, you're going to get served more content about business. If you like basketball, you're going to get served content about basketball. If you like cooking, you're going to get served content about cooking. Every platform is now much more of a For You page rather than a following feed. And so when we're chasing, how can we create as much non-follower reach for brands as possible? Given this reach is targeted and free, it's organic. And not only is the reach free, but because it's organic, it's going to bring in better quality people who pay you more money, who close and convert at higher rates, who stay for longer, who refer you more people, and who are also higher profit right away on the front end because you don't have marketing costs. You don't have ad spend to acquire organic customers. So it beats that in every single way. And organic content has almost never been more like ads than it is today. And the best way to maximize your organic growth and the amount of people that's coming in from this new matrix of short form content is to, again, create multiple sub accounts to where instead of just having one account right here per platform that posts 2 short form videos per day, you can create more accounts per platform, still branded to you. And so now on Instagram here, you can see in this example, we went from posting 2 times per day to 12 times per day. And then we multiply that out across Facebook and we multiply that out across YouTube over here and every single platform. And next thing you know, now you have an entire omnipresent content ecosystem that's mass distributing content on your brand's behalf. And what you can have every single one of these content pieces do that again are going to majority non-follower interest-based reach over here is one, you can have all of this drive back to your primary socials, which is going to be this top brand up here. But additionally, you can have all of these sub accounts also, let's just say it goes here. You can have all the sub accounts also driving to your business. And what does that look like from your business? Well, you want to convert people to lead magnets and you want to convert people into your conversion mechanisms. And that's what we're going to be breaking down in this video as well. Lead magnets that work really well for this. There's so many types. You can do free courses, you can do email newsletters, you can do free communities, free tools, free trials to your thing, free training videos. And you can also very effectively direct all this non-follower interest-based reach to your conversion mechanisms, such as a VSL funnel you have in place, or a webinar funnel you have in place, or a challenge funnel that you're doing, or whatever you found does the best of converting leads to customers. But the goal is for this entire funnel to build an ecosystem for you that translates followers into leads, which is emails and maybe phone numbers, and those leads turn into sales and customers or buyers for your business. Doing this is how we're able to consistently take brands from generating, let's call it 1 million to 10 million views per month to 5 million to 100 million plus views per month. And again, all those views are non-follower and interest based, leading to the highest levels of organic growth that they have ever experienced before. And not only just their views and audience growth, but also their leads and sales growth, which translates to revenue and profit. And that is the goal when you are a business owner. This truly is the biggest and most effective growth opportunity of 2025. As mentioned, Tai Lopez is using this account network to consistently generate over 100 million views per month, all funneling back to his primary socials, events, and video sales letters. And he's also using this as a testing ground to find top performing organic content that he's then repurposing into ads that perform much better. And he's able to retarget the 100 million plus views per month with ads, leading to much lower ad costs, massive custom audiences who have already seen his content, and a much more profitable and scalable ad strategy overall. So if you're a business doing over 200,000 a month and you're looking to get to 1 million per month and beyond, we will do this all for you. We'll build out your sub accounts. We'll script the entire videos with very proven frameworks that match your voice and brand. We'll split test hooks on each video across sub accounts and overall turn your organic socials into a lead generation machine, bringing you hundreds thousands and even tens of thousands of qualified leads monthly for your business, again, that are fully organic, where they are higher quality, higher profit margins, and we do this performance-based and guaranteed. This is one of the biggest opportunities of 2025, and we're the only ones in the marketplace who've developed these systems. We tend to have a waiting list and are very selective about who we work with. So if you fit this description, apply now with the link in the description. And now we go into the second pillar, which should not be a surprise to you, and that is strategic AI integration, but not how most people are using it. See, the winning businesses aren't just using AI for content creation. They're using it to streamline internal operations and staff training, generate more leads and book more sales appointments, personalize customer experiences at scale, and much more. And there is a huge rabbit hole you can go down of all the different AI tools and AI agents out there. But here's the specific AI stack that we see consistently the top 10% of businesses doing 10 million plus per year using as part of their overall strategy. The first AI tool that we're seeing people get great results with and just drastically increase efficiency is Icon.com. Icon.com is one of the leading AI tools for advertising. You can pump out dozens, if not hundreds, of different ad creatives to split test against. The creatives are very, very professional. You can do different types of creatives, whether it's image and video, carousels, etc. What we see consistently is all of the clients we work with and brands we've connected with who are doing 10 million plus. Some are doing 100 million, some are even doing billions in annual revenue. The bigger they get, the more ads and creative that they're constantly split testing. And when you can use an AI tool like Icon.com to do massive amounts of split testing and move much faster, that's going to put you in a better spot to win. Tool number 2, and this is not one that I see talked about enough, is Claude as an AI LLM tool. It's like a competitor to ChatGPT. And what I'm finding with Claude is it does better than ChatGPT or Grok or the other tools we've tested for creative work such as script writing. So Claude has done an amazing job at video script writing, at copywriting for your ads, for email scripts. So anything copywriting and script writing wise, you can use Claude, really input a lot of information on your brand, feed it videos, feed it materials about your business and your offers and what you're trying to accomplish in your ICP. And it'll use all of that to match your brand voice and much more efficiently put together scripts for you, as well as, again, copy that you can tie together with tools like Icon.com or others to split test much faster than your competitors, and that is how you can win. Number 3, this is not necessarily one specific tool because there's a variety of tools that do it, but it's going to be AI sales agents. It's pretty crazy to say, but we are not far off from AI completely replacing a huge chunk of the workforce. Now, it's going to take a long time, if ever, for AI to replace high ticket closers and account executives and people in businesses who are actually closing the big deals, bringing in the cash collected, bringing in the contracts and the revenue. However, AI sales agents are already doing an amazing job of taking over much more efficiently, much more predictably, much more dependably with AI setting. And so these tools can do an amazing job at calling new leads as they're coming in, calling older leads to get them back into the pipeline, email follow-up, text follow-up, overall the roles that SDRs, sales development reps, and BDRs, business development reps, would be doing in your business. It's already there. Most of the tools, I'm not going to give you specific ones because there's not one that's fully there yet that I'm willing to endorse longer term. However, I will say a problem with AI sales agents, such as ones that will call your leads, has been latency, to where if you're talking to them on the phone, you as the person will give them a response, and then there is a 1-2 second delay before they respond back to you. And that latency, that delay, is what gives it away of being AI. I will say now, I've tested a couple tools out there where they have fixed the latency problem, and it is very hard to tell that it's AI unless you're really testing it for it. And I know some of the brands that we work with are already seeing incredible success using these tools by calling a lot of their older leads and newer leads as they're coming to the system. And after the calls, the AIs have the capability to send email and text follow-ups. There's also AI sales agents out there that will do email outreach for your business as well. And so you can feed it a lot of email leads that you scrape and put together, and then it'll handle that outreach for you and do it on a very personalized basis. Again, most of the AI sales agents out there are startups, and what's working today may not be working in 3, 6 months from now. So I'm not going to endorse any specific ones in this video, but if you start to do some research and test some of the tools out there, you'll find some great use cases for your business. This has been a pretty awesome one for training purposes, is developing custom GPTs. It sounds complicated if you haven't looked into this, but it's not. Setting up a custom GPT is very easy. It's the same exact process essentially as using ChatGPT or one of these other LLM tools. You can go to ChatGPT or a different tool. There's a section that says setting up custom GPT, and you can create one and then feed it everything that you can about your business. We're using this for internal training, and you can create these internally for your company. You can create these externally for, let's say you have clients coming in or members coming in as a support tool, a training tool, or mentorship tool. And so now businesses are developing custom GPTs to when you hire new employees, instead of those employees only being able to ask questions to their manager or whoever they're a direct report to, they can now ask those questions to a custom GPT, train on your business and all your information, and it's going to give them perfect responses immediately that's tailored to your business. Now, if you think about doing that at scale and the efficiency that it creates, it's massive. Because in the old days, if you're working in a remote company, a lot of the time, if a new trainee comes and they message their direct report or manager, the manager is back to back in meetings or caught up or whatever the case, there could be a 1, 2, 3 hour delay of them getting that response over, which creates an unnecessary 1, 2, 3 hour bottleneck. Versus when you have a custom GPT, you're getting the information immediately, and that allows everyone in the organization to move much faster. We actually created a policy to where all employees in our company, before they ask a team member or a manager a question, they have to ask it to ChatGPT first. And a lot of the time, they get the answer that they're looking for, and it creates much more efficiency for them because they're getting it immediately. And a lot of the time, they'll get even a better and more detailed answer from using a custom GPT or a tool like ChatGPT. It trains your team to be more resourceful and more self-sufficient, which provides massive benefits to the culture that you want to build in your company to move faster and outpace your competitors. And fifth, this is the basic one. We all know it. We all use it all the time. ChatGPT or any other LLM for the purposes of turning it into a company brain. And so you can use one of these tools like ChatGPT or Grok or Claude, etc. Feed it as much information as possible on your business, and they all have a memory. They remember the information you feed it, the videos you feed it, the documents and resources that you feed it. And it's just like when you hire a new employee and you're telling them information, ideally you don't have to keep telling that same employee the same things over and over. Otherwise, it's not going to work out and you should probably fire them. But the best employees, you tell them something once, they take it and run with it. And all these ChatGPT tools, Grok, LLM tools do the same thing. You tell it something once, it remembers it forever and takes it and runs with it. So you can do this upfront training and build out, and then continue that process ongoing, but that allows it to give you very, very tailored information to your business. And it can become one of the ultimate mentors. You can make it a co-founder on the business, add it to the top of the organization chart. And I'm using ChatGPT and some of the other LLM tools to brainstorm everything that we do, from coming up with compensation structures for employees to best recruitment, hiring processes, to marketing systems, brainstorming lead magnets that we roll out, script writing, and so much more. Basically, any use case in business can be tied together with this tool, and the more context you feed it on your business, the more it becomes really an executive in the company and an ultimate mentor for you to scale much faster. All right, now let's lead into the third pillar, which is organic lead gen strategies. The first big one that should not be a surprise to you if you're already a business that's doing hundreds of thousands per month, potentially even some of the businesses that watch this that are doing $1 million+ per month, is ManyChat on Instagram and Facebook. ManyChat is the tool that automates DM conversations. When you see people say, comment the word XYZ below and I'll send you this thing, they're using ManyChat. And what we've seen is all the tests that we've done on this, we consistently will see jumps as high as 30 to 65% of an increase conversion and click-through rate using ManyChat versus driving people to a link in bio or driving people to a link that you put on your story sticker on Instagram or Facebook. And where we're absolutely killing it in growth right now of not only creating more viral, organic, growth-oriented content, but also making sure that all of that content is driving significant lead flow for our clients' businesses is with script writing. And what we found to be extremely successful, we're writing 30 plus word for word scripts for short form content each month for our clients. Every script will then have 3 hooks on each video, and we're split testing those hooks across sub accounts. And not only that, the scripts are very value oriented. Viewers who watch them feel like they learn a lot and they can immediately action what they learn in the video as well, which creates shareable content that performs very well organically. Then we follow it with a CTA at the end of the script saying to comment the word below to receive this free thing. And usually the free thing that we're driving people to is the conversion mechanism or the funnel that's working best for that brand, whether it's a VSL or a webinar or even just a phone number for them to contact. And then we can integrate lead magnets as well. All of this is crushing to the point to where we're very predictably generating thousands of mini chat runs, even on a weekly basis for different businesses. And each one of those mini chat runs will drive people to, again, a conversion mechanism or a lead magnet. And then where you can take it to the next level is where you have a chat setter who follows up with all the hundreds or thousands of conversations started in your DMs, and they will capture a lot of the missed opportunity of people who were sent the lead magnet or conversion mechanism, but didn't actually complete an application or book a call with your team. You can have chat setters go in and continue those conversations, ask them questions, and lead them to booking calls. And this is absolutely killing it in growth across the board. We can come into a business and immediately start writing scripts that perform significantly better. A lot of the time, we'll work with the business whose videos are doing, let's say, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 average view per video, and we'll come in and is immediately doing 5,000, 10,000 average views per video. We also create them a network of sub accounts that we already discussed. Every video we're split testing different hooks, and the hook itself can be the difference of a video getting 5 million views or 5,000 views. And so all of this creates a massive increase in reach. And then every single one of those videos have calls to action, CTAs, that's driving mini chat flows. And then if we're posting on platforms like TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, we have direct tracking links that they can go to as well. And the second point that I had ready for this are chat setters. This is a massive opportunity to taking organic reach, translating them into leads and sales for your business. And when you combine chat setters with mini chat, it is one of the most cost-effective ways to generate a lot of new revenue for your business. And again, as mentioned earlier, organic leads tend to have higher levels of trust, and therefore the show up rate is better, the conversion rate is better, they spend more money, you get more paid in fulls and cash collected upfront, they stay for longer, they refer more people, there's little to no marketing spend or ad spend that went into acquiring those customers, so you are more profitable from day one. If you don't already have this set up, again, we'll do this for you. Every single business should be doing this. There's no exceptions to it. This is absolutely not something that you should delay on because it will massively move the needle for you and your brand. All right, and then the third 4 organic lead gen strategies that we have briefly touched on is lead magnets. And what we find is on top of what we discussed of mini chat strategy, another great way to convert views and audiences on social media is to drive them to lead magnets. One of my favorite lead magnets are email newsletters. Your newsletter itself can be the lead magnet because what it does is it collects emails, and emails lead to sales. And you can really nurture the leads that come in through email campaigns that are going out. I saw a recent study, it was somewhere in the 90-something% of people use email. All of your customers, all of your clients are in emails. Open rates can still be significantly high. There is a drastic value to collecting an email for your business. On top of that, other types of lead magnets that work really well is long form YouTube videos like the one you're watching right now can be a great lead magnet. You can take people from short form content and from the different platforms and take them to your long form content as trainings that you're dropping. And the more time someone spends with you, the higher and more likely they are to convert. There's a great rule called the 7-11-4 rule, where if someone spends 7 hours watching your content across 11 different impressions and 4 platforms, those platforms could be Instagram, YouTube, email, and call, then they'll buy anything that you sell as long as they're a good fit for what it is that you sell. And the fastest way to get people to that 7 hours of consumption is with long form content. And so again, short form content is the highest and fastest growth method for top of funnel. And then you can funnel them down through everything that we're talking about to create that 7-11-4 rule much faster for your business. Now, if you really want to take this to a high level, when you have chat setters set up in your DMs, and then on lead lead magnets, ideally you collect their phone numbers too whenever they opt in for something. And then you go back up here and you have an AI sales agent that can call them immediately within 1 minute of coming in your system. You're going to see, again, massive uptick in the amount of qualified appointments and therefore sales coming in for your business. Harvard Business Review did an extensive study that showed a 391% in overall conversions and therefore revenue for businesses who call their leads within 1 minute of coming in versus even 10 minutes of coming in. That first minute and time frame is absolutely crucial, and the best way to guarantee it is by going back up here and finding an AI sales agent that can do it for you at all times, guaranteed, very dependably while you sleep. Okay, the fourth consistent pillar that I see that all of our clients we work with in the 100+ brands that I've connected with and analyzed doing 10 million plus per year is high ticket ad funnels. Now, there obviously are exceptions to this, but the overwhelming majority of the most profitable 10 million plus businesses that we work with and that I've analyzed are selling high ticket products with price points at $10,000 or more. This allows you to scale to a much bigger business while acquiring way less customers, be more profitable, spend more to acquire customers, attract better quality customers as well, and the list goes on and on and on. From a scalability standpoint, unless you are a brand that generates a massive amount of reach, or you're in an industry and business that is niche into low ticket, I will take high ticket all day, every day. And with that, there are two main funnels that consistently outperform the rest and that almost every single 10 million plus high ticket brand uses. The first one being a VSL to call funnel. VSL stands for Video Sales Letter. The biggest brands in the world of Fortune 500 companies, all the way down to small businesses and everything in between, use VSLs because simply they work. What's important about a VSL is you need to follow a proven framework, and it needs to be good, obviously. So for our brands, we actually write VSLs for them. We go through the revision process, and we also have frameworks that we can share with their team if they want their team to write it instead. But that needs to be step one. Step two, what a lot of people don't do is split test hooks on the VSLs. Just like with organic content, when you have paid content, the hook is always going to be the best thing to split test. I like to start, depending on how much traffic that you're getting, with 2 to 3 different hooks split tested on your VSL, and then you can continue to optimize accordingly. Once you find that winning hook, continue to look at the retention graph on your VSL. If you're hosting it on a platform like Wistia or Vimeo, which are the top two where you should be hosting it, they'll show you very detailed analytics and retention graphs so you can identify different drop-off points and where people are dropping off. You obviously want to fix that and continue to optimize to get this to a spot where it converts incredibly high. VSLs can be as simple as using Google Slides with white background and black text, and it can be word for word of you reading off of the script. Highest converting VSLs are still generally ranging on the lowest end 20 minutes and on the highest end 40 minutes. If your offer is not this new thing and it's just a no-brainer where people can go there, they get it, it makes sense, it's undeniable very quickly, then you can have a shorter VSL. If your offer is much more of a new opportunity and this new thing that needs more explanation and information that goes into it and in-depth knowledge, then you're going to lean to having a longer VSL. Whether you're selling to entry-level people or rich people, multimillionaires, the length doesn't matter if the offer truly resonates and solves a big problem and pain point for them. Don't overcomplicate this. On the VSL landing page, at the top, you can call out who is the offer for, and then have a headline there, have the VSL video, and then below that, you want to embed an application. The top 2 application softwares to use are Typeform or Jotform, and you can embed your calendar inside of the application for qualified leads. With the application, you can qualify who is a fit and who is not a fit and show your calendar accordingly. But you want to do all of this on the same page together for the VSL to call funnel. Now, to have a top level effective VSL funnel, that's an entirely different video that we can go in depth into. If you find that interesting and you want me to create that, comment below letting me know, and we can create a future video going much more in depth into the full-on VSL funnel that works incredibly well. Now, the second high ticket ad funnel that consistently works and largely still holds the crown is webinar funnels. Webinars have been around a long time, just like VSLs, and there's been fluctuations of people really leaning into them and them kind of dying out and coming back. But webinars today work incredibly well. And I will actually say our brands that we work with who are doing over 3 million plus per month consistently are really utilizing webinar funnels. They have a combination of VSL and webinar funnels, but there is no brand that we have that's doing over 3 million plus per month with high ticket offers who are not also doing webinar funnels on top of the VSL to call funnel. If you are experienced with webinars and you've done a lot of them, then you can do them less frequent. So if experienced, less frequent. If you are inexperienced with doing webinars, you want to do them more frequently. The reason being is because your 50th webinar that you do is going to be significantly better than the first webinar that you do. You're going to every single time get more feedback and make improvements and innovations accordingly. Get better at speaking, get better at the storytelling elements, get better at engaging with the live attendees on the webinar. And a very, very, very common mistake that I see people make is trying to make their webinar automated and evergreen way too fast. Someone will do 1, 2, 3 webinars and then turn it into an evergreen and automated webinar when they suck at doing it. And therefore their evergreen or automated webinar is going to suck as well. We also overall don't see evergreen webinars working as well versus truly live webinars. Again, if you're more inexperienced with this, do a higher frequency of live webinars. I would recommend being at minimum 1 per week and at maximum 3 webinars per week to get very good and put in the reps quickly. And maybe, only maybe after you've done 50 plus, can you consider making some component of it automated. But the reality is when you start doing this and you realize how much money you make every single time you do a webinar, this is not something that you want to delegate against. This is something you want to put more time towards because it can be one of the biggest levers for your business. Now, if you are experienced and you've done a lot of webinars, you can do them less frequent and you can even take it back to doing 1 to 2 per month. And what we found is when brands are doing less frequency of webinar, you do 1 to 2 per month, it creates more exclusivity, it creates more scarcity, more urgency. You have a very large attendant rate, depending on how much ads you put towards this and how well you promote it on the organic socials and your overall marketing strategy. But you can build this up to where your webinars have thousands and even tens of thousands, sometimes 100,000 plus attendees that are showing up to that webinar. Because it's less frequent, this can create massive pops of growth in your business. And you can sell an offer straight from the webinar. If you do that, usually people start to see a big drop off in conversions above the 2,000 price point, but that is not recommended. If you want to make a lot more money, what you should do is the CTA should be for people to apply and then book a call with your team from the webinar. This is where you can still sell high ticket, 10,000 plus offers and absolutely crank. When people spend 2 hours plus with you on these webinars, they're very warm, if not hot leads. And it can stack your sales team's calendar for weeks, depending on what level of scale you built around this. You're going to have a higher show rate, a higher conversion rate, more cash collected upfront on these calls because they're so much more indoctrinated from the webinar. And some other pointers that apply to any call funnel, whether it's the VSL to call, a webinar to call, a challenge funnel to booking calls, or whatever the case that you're driving, we see significant improvements in show rate and interestingly, close rate as well. If your sales team manually will verify the call using iMessage. And so they reach out to the person they booked the call with using iMessage, you want that blue text, and send a selfie video and start a conversation and response from there. There's now also tools that you can use to automate this and integrate with your CRM for the first time ever. They're newer tools, and so I'm not ready to endorse them yet, but we have seen some great results with some of the different brands we work with using this. Additionally, the automated emails that go out to people who book calls with you, do not make them look like they're manually sent and personalized. People see right through it. And what happens is, one, it comes off as less genuine on your brand. And secondly, if your team does manually reach out to them after, they kind of bucket it in with the automated messages that they received, and your team has a lower reply rate. So the automated emails that go out, make sure that the clients and the prospects know that these are automated emails. That way, when your sales team manually reaches out, they get a higher reply rate, and this helps with show rates. And this again helps with close rates as well. So to recap, each of our clients who are doing more than 3 million plus per month are running a combination of webinar funnels and VSL to call booking funnels. They're selling high ticket, 10,000 plus offers, and then have a very dialed backend system for high retention, upsells into other offers, recurring revenue streams, referral programs for their clients to refer more clients to them, affiliate networks of other people who promote their products, and they know their numbers to the T, where they have financial modeling really mapped out and they're willing to wait for months to see profit from acquiring new customers because they know their LTV, and this allows them to outspend all their competitors. Plus, they're doing everything else that we already discussed in this video to turn their entire business into a lead and sales generation machine. Again, really mapping out an effective call funnel can be an entire masterclass video within itself. Let me know in the comments below if you want us to put that together. And now let's dive into pillar number 5, which is leveraging strategic partnerships. Another way our 10 million plus client partners are making every client worth more money to them is by setting up strategic partnerships with other businesses that offer complementary services or products to theirs, and then getting an ongoing referral fee to every new client they bring in to their referral partners. I'll give you some examples for us. So when people come to us and they become a media scaling client partner, we have a short list of very vetted top tier referral partners who we're willing to make introductions to if they're also looking for those additional and complementary services. What's really important that I said there is that our partners are vetted. I know who they are, I know the results that they create and bring in for businesses, and therefore I trust referring them and making that introduction. Because one of the worst things that can happen that hurts goodwill with you and trust with you being the one who makes the introduction is if you refer them to a referral partner who sucks and they don't get results, because that negatively reflects on you for making the referral introduction in the first place. But when you find trusted and vetted partners, any smart business owner, which is what they should be if you're going to refer them people, are willing to set up some type of rev share deal. I love doing rev shares in perpetuity and making it a win-win for their business. For our referral program, we do a 5% rev share in perpetuity for our referral partners, and it can turn into very meaningful passive income for people that go for years on end because we have great retention. And that's the same thing that we expect from our referral partners in return. So we have a short list of vendors if people come in and maybe they want podcast bookings. Maybe they want an ad agency for media buying. Maybe they are looking for a funnel builder. Maybe they need a sales agency to source and manage a sales team for them. Maybe they need a top-level recruiter for a specific role in their company. Maybe they're looking for SEO services, and the list goes on and on and on. And so through being in the space and building our network, we've met trusted vendors for these types of services and more that we're willing to refer our client partners to. And in exchange, that creates more revenue and a higher value per client as well. Again, we consistently see that the businesses we work with doing 10 million plus in annual revenue have a great strategic partnership lined up on the back end. And then our clients who are doing 50 million plus a year will end up taking these complementary services in-house so they keep all of the revenue and profit. And this either happens by building up these services in-house by going out and recruiting top operating talent who can build that division in the company for them, which is kind of like building a new company within itself. Or the faster route, which also tends to build the most enterprise value, is to acquire businesses who already built the offer to these services and then integrating that business into your own. Not only does this acquire the service, but it also acquires all that business talent that took years and years to cultivate and develop, all their SOPs, their training systems, their entire client base to cross-sell services to, all their data, email list, and so much more. And this is how you can rapidly grow through acquisitions, which is the game that businesses really begin to play when they pass around the 50 million per year mark and beyond. And so you can see how you would make significantly more money if instead of each of these services being referral partners, they're services that you internally own. Therefore, again, you would keep all the revenue and profit. Now, if you're doing 200,000 per month or more, and you're looking to get to 1 million per month and beyond, if you're already at 1 million per month and you're looking to take to the next level as well, and you're not getting the amount of leads and growth that you want from your organic content, we likely need to talk. We'll fully script out your videos word for word, embed calls to action in every video, split test your hooks across sub accounts, produce top quality content, and turn your socials into a lead and growth machine like you have never experienced before, largely performance based with guaranteed results. results. And this truly is the biggest growth opportunity of 2025. And we're the only company in the marketplace who's developed these systems. Now, we're very selective about who we work with on this, and we tend to have a wait list for our client partners. We only want to work with the best. But if you fit this description and want to explore further coming on board, then apply to work with us and schedule a call with our team by clicking the link in the description below. If you're newer to this channel and haven't already hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do so. We're dropping more weekly trainings just like this one. And before you go, make sure to check out this video that you see on screen for developing a 10 million plus content strategy using AI.